I will take questions if you have any.
Talk about Choice Man.
Okay. So we joined a triplet support group. Of course you would, you know. We found one, the fact there was one. And we learned this there. And so every day, one of the boys was Choice Man. Choice Man gets to pick where to sit in the car, what radio station to listen to, what video to watch. Boy number 2 knows, tomorrow, I'm Choice Man. And boy number 3 knows, the day after that, I'm Choice Man. So they give it up to the other kid.
Now that the ink is dry and the book is gone out of your hands, is there something you wish you could have put in the book?
I do find myself remembering the occasional moment, and we both do, I think, where it was like, oh, we didn't include that. That'd be nice to toss that in.
But you didn't leave out a child. I read the book.
No, and we tried hard to do that.
This was our experience and mostly his experience, but the experience of our kids was completely different.
And by the way, perfect segue to the new book, Not Your Mother's America.
Well, the boys, I assume, have read the book.
They have.
What was their reaction?
Yeah.
Well, so far 3 lawsuits, but they have terrible lawyers.
I think they will really appreciate it years from now.
Yes.
Because it's a history of theirs, and they could pass it on to their kids and say, this is kind of what was going on and what happened.
Yeah, at its very inception, I pictured writing a letter, an open letter to our sons. And then I realized it was an incredibly long letter.
No farting on daddy.
which was a rule. I thought you didn't want to play. And he said, I had to pee. Right? And he hit the ball over the fence just like his brothers. And say, oh, which one is the smartest? And Barbara would say, apparently not you. You know. So we didn't have smartphones yet, and we didn't have the internet fully yet. And I remember I mentioned in the book, at one point I was reading in the LA Times about a thing called Facebook, and it had become a multi-billion-dollar enterprise virtually overnight. And we didn't know anything about it. But what we did is we kept our kids off of all of that as long as we could. You know, so I think you have to consciously put things in place. Like we had dinner with our kids virtually every night. And that's how they learned to eat broccoli. Because we served it 40 nights in a row. And so that intentionality on our part, I think, paid off. But at a time when it could. Yeah.
So, do you have an epilogue for the book, where we are today? And
Braden's works for TPG Private Equity. Carter works for Stanford University. And Jackson is as entrepreneurial as you get as a painter. I'm going to close with this. I used to wonder what it would be like to win the lottery. On January 7th, 1995, when our triplets were born healthy and whole, we won the lottery, the baby lottery. And the next day, the feeling was still there, and the reality was still there, and they were there. And it hasn't stopped. We get to live with it every day through all the years, all the phases and stages, challenges and accomplishments. We've been blessed to live with the enormous, priceless gift and source of pride that our triplet sons are to us every single day. And now these spectacular young adults are creating their own lives, careers, families, and the future. I used to wonder what it would be like to win the lottery. Now I know.